the first sensational superstar of Indian cinema. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Rajesh Khanna. Though a romantic hero, Rajesh Khanna essayed a variety of roles with ease in his career spanning 4 decades. गुलाबी आंखें जो तेरी देखी शराबी ये दिल हो गया संभालो मुझको मेरे यारो संभलना मुश्किल हो गया. The charisma of his natural acting skill with a smiling face made him a popular choice of audience and filmmakers alike. One of the many films remembered for his acting prowess is the Rishikesh Mukherjee directed film Anand. Zindagi kaisi hai paheli kabhi to hataye He worked with many heroines in Bollywood, but is best remembered for his hit pairing with Mumtaz, which led to 14 consecutive hits at the box office. Awards came aplenty for Rajesh Khanna, with a Lifetime Achievement Award by Filmfare for completion of 25 years in Indian cinema amongst others. Remembered as the unforgettable romantic hero of all time, Rajesh Khanna was the perfect man on screen, charming, naive and forever smiling. He will live on in the hearts of his fans forever. Famously known as the father of the White Revolution, Dr. Verghese Kurian had the billion-liter idea or Operation Flood, which took India from being a milk-deficient nation to the largest milk producer in the world, surpassing the United States of America in 1998. He founded around 30 institutions of excellence, including Amul, which are owned, managed by farmers and run by professionals. One of the major achievements of Kurian at Amul was the invention of milk powder processed from buffalo milk.
We had no time for the family at all. We were so busy building the dairy, and then once LDBB started fighting with all the ministers and all the secretaries. But he was doing a job, and I thought I should do my job looking after him. And there was nothing else in this place. I think I didn't do a bad job.
His success led to many successful copies of the Amul's Anand model nationwide. One of the greatest proponents of the cooperative movement in the world, his work has alleviated millions out of poverty, not only in India but also outside. Hailed as the milkman of India, Kurian won several awards including the Padma Vibhushan, the World Food Prize and the Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership.
I wanted to come here because my education abroad was paid for by the then British government, and therefore my obligation to British government was transferred to the Indian government. So I was sent to Anand in 1949. I found this was a very dusty, small town of 10,000 people. Now, a lot of people there were not very modern. Roads, communication, everything was bad. And at that time, I could not get accommodation because I was a Christian, I was a meat eater, and above all I was a bachelor, so nobody would give me any accommodation. So I had to live in the garage of the dairy. So that's how I started life here. There was no bathroom. 3 corrugated sheets made my bathroom. That's how I started.
And looking back, I think it was good in the sense that I started with nothing, and whatever I may have achieved is entirely due to my efforts and the efforts of my colleagues. So I owed no one anything. Differently means I could have got away with high-paying salary in a big city. But I would not have received the warmth, the affection, the love of the people I work with and the people for whom I work in those environments. It is here that I found myself. I'm glad that I stayed here.
A Padma Bhushan recipient, 12 Filmfare Awards, Lifetime Achievement Award, introducing West to Bollywood unlike any other filmmaker. Yash Chopra, the director, film producer and screenwriter, did it all. Working out of a small office in the great V. Shantaram's Rajkamal studios, Yash Chopra dreamt of films which would have the Swiss Alps, the Dutch tulip gardens and lakes of Kashmir. All this in a time when violence ruled Bollywood. He directed 22 films and produced 53, the last being this one.
तेरा हाथ से हाथ छोड़ना, तेरा सायों का रुख मोड़ना, तेरा पलट के फिर न देखना, नहीं माफ करूंगा मैं, जब तक है जान, जब तक है जान।
Though he could not see the premiere of his last film, and his song was still left to be picturized, Yash Chopra will always be remembered as the man who retaught Bollywood how to love. Member of the Rajya Sabha, representing Maharashtra, Vilas Rao Deshmukh was one of the biggest leaders for the Congress in Maharashtra region. He had previously held the posts of Minister of Rural Development, Minister of Panchayati Raj and the Minister of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, along with having been a two-time Chief Minister of Maharashtra.
Tremendous, powerful, dynamite, lady of the blue, Miss Ella James. Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old way you choose it. It gotta be rock and roll music.
Etta James is amongst the most critically acclaimed and influential female singers of the past 50 years, even if she never achieved huge popular success.
And that's the beauty of the melody. Until it sounds like a company. That's why I go for that rock and roll music. Don't play for any old time you use it.
From her first R&B hit in 1955 through the 80s, she proved capable of developing and changing as an artist.
I get a feeling that I never had before. No, no. I just want to tell y'all right now that
She sang with an unmatched emotional hunger and a pain that can chill the listener. She won 6 Grammy Awards and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Let me tell you now, I got a feeling, everything about the things you have seen. If I got a brand new song, I feel kind of feel when I'm talking with her. Life is like a song.
Her powerhouse voice, often strung to bluesy arrangements, would always ensure that she is the ultimate performer.
The skies above, they're blue.
At the age of 98, Humayun Vyarawala had the first ever birthday party. Her body may have been wasting away, but her spirit, she said, was young as 40. Almost about the age when she gave up taking pictures. She was India's first woman press photographer who took some of the best known pictures of India in transition. Her pictures of Jawaharlal Nehru, those of the young Dalai Lama crossing the border into India in 1969, that of Muhammad Ali Jinnah on Partition Eve, are today iconic. Fiercely independent, she lived alone and dreamt of coming back to the same life all over again, if she ever got the chance. The first man to walk on the moon can best be described as a reluctant hero, self-conscious and deeply introverted. Apollo 11 took off on 16 July and 4 days later the Eagle descended on the moon. Around 6.5 hours later, Armstrong stepped off the ladder on the lunar module, the first human being to set foot on the moon. He addressed hundreds of millions of television viewers all over the world, watching in black and white, amazed at this feat of mankind. A man whose life was all about the pictures he created on screen. A master cinematographer whose craft is unparalleled in Indian cinema. An iconic filmmaker whose work will be remembered for a long time to come.
He never had any formal training in art. In fact, after 11 he wasn't educated. He ran away from home at 11, from Delhi. So his whole idea of visuals was very instinctive. And more than anybody here or in the West, he had an innate idea of how to tell a story through a frame. He could frame it, and you looked at the frame and you realized that the frame was telling a story. So it wasn't just the way he played with light, it was the way he used frame.
It was the reigning stars of the 70s, Shashi Kapoor, who helped Ashok Mehta's career. Shashi, who was starring in a film being shot by Mehta, was greatly impressed by his work, and even though the film did not get made eventually, it won Ashok Shashi's friendship, who offered him his next production, 36 Charagi Lane. His crisp black and white imagery in this film got him his first national award for cinematography. Collaborators and admirers described him as a down-to-earth person who never forgot the obstacles he overcame en route to the top. His innate sense of light and composition has left an indelible mark on Indian cinema. For Ashok Mehta, everything was illuminated.
आती रही रात भर चश्मनम.
The man who gave Umrao Jan her voice.
आती रही रात भर आपकी याद. दिल चीज क्या है आप मेरी जान लीजिए. बस एक बार मेरा कहा, बस एक बार मेरा कहा मान लीजिए.
Akhlaq Muhammad Khan, better known as Shahryar, straddled the worlds of pure and popular poetry with equal ease.
दिल चीज क्या है आप मेरी जान लीजिए.
Famous for his ghazals and poetry, this Aligarh Muslim University scholar is well known for his balancing act. On being offered 3 films back-to-back by Yash Chopra, Shahryar refused to do even one, since he didn't want to be a songwriting shop. One of the finest Urdu poets of all time, Shahryar would always be remembered for his impeccable language.
जो आसमां पे सितारा है उसे अपनी आंखों से देख लो, उसे अपने होठों से चूम लो, उसे अपने हाथों से छू लो, कि उसी पे हमला है रात का.
Sitar Maestro, one of India's biggest contemporary musicians, a 3-time Grammy Award winner. There are many ways to describe Pandit Ravi Shankar. Best perhaps is to call him the man who introduced sitar to the West, including to the former Beatle George Harrison. In fact, Pandit Ravi Shankar is nominated for the Grammy Awards this year too, against his own daughter Anushka Shankar. Pandit Shankar's records were widely sold, and he also started a music school in Mumbai. His compositions for Satyajit Ray are widely known, as is his soundtrack for Sir Richard Attenborough's Gandhi, for which he was nominated for an Oscar. He received the Bharat Ratna in 1999 and was nominated to the Rajya Sabha by Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi in 1986 and served till 1992. And though he may have left this world, his music lives on. the man who began his professional career as a cartoonist for the English language daily, the Free Press Journal in Mumbai, would go on to becoming one of the giants in Indian politics. Bal Thackeray was a man whom many feared, many revered, and many were curious about. In 1966, he formed the Shiv Sena party to advocate the place of Maharashtrians in Mumbai's political and professional landscape. In the late 1960s and the early 1970s, Thackeray built the party by forming temporary alliances with nearly all of Maharashtra's political parties. His Marathi language newspaper Samna was the subject of numerous controversies. Much like Bal Thackeray's politics, which seek to stand apart and not be a part of the cosmopolitan Indian milieu.
भाग्यवान हनुमान सा जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस क्यों लोक उजागर.
This would invariably become the trademark Dara Singh image.
अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा.
The man who could lift a mountain and yet be unfazed with the task.
स्वामी के दर्शनों की अभिलाषा करो तो आप श्री राम भक्त पवन पुत्र हनुमान हैं.
जय हनुमान ज्ञान.
Dara Singh's restless physique suited the character so perfectly,
क्यों लोक उजागर.
and he played the role with such conviction that for many he was the real Hanuman.
हनुमान, मैं तो भक्त का सेवक हूं, स्वामी नहीं.
But the Dara Singh story wasn't just this. He was the winner of the Commonwealth title for India in 1959 and the World Wrestling Championship in 1968. In some 500 fights as a professional wrestler, he remained unbeaten, earning himself the title Rustam-e-Hind. The first hero to appear shirtless on screen,
निगाहें चार करूं ये मेरी तमन्ना है, किसी से प्यार करूं ये मेरी तमन्ना है, जी चाहे खो जाऊं तेरी हो जाऊं, जी चाहे खो जाऊं.
Dara Singh was also a member of the Rajya Sabha, becoming the first sportsperson to do so.
मैं तो कई बार सोचता हूँ अपनी एज बारे के पहला मैं खेतीबाड़ी करता सी अपने पिंड दा मैं चैंपियन खेती कट्टण विच. जिस साल मैं बाहर गया उस साल मैं सारे तो पिंड हाले जो रिकॉर्ड नहीं टुटा किन्नियां कणक दियां भरियां जियां वड्डे कले ने वड्डी है ते खेती विच भी ते उदों बाद रैसलिंग और बाद ये तीनों चीज़ों में सक्सेस रही. मेरे तो ऊपर की मेहरबानी रही, तो लाइफ हैप्पीली गुजर गई.
दोस्तों, आपको जानकर खुशी होगी कि आज हमारे बीच हैं हमारी गुरदासपुर की मोहल्ला टीम के इंटरनेशनल कोच श्री ड्रैग चैपल।
हेलो 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 उस्ताद जी, इनका नाम ड्रैग चैपल क्यों है? ड्रैग का मतलब तो होता है घसीटना।
वो भी इनकी आदत है खिलाड़ियों की टांग खींचना, इसलिए खिलाड़ी इन्हें प्यार से ड्रैग चैपल कहते हैं। Some 30 odd years ago, Jaspal Bhatti and his friends launched the highly popular Chandigarh's Nonsense Club. His innovative way of bringing attention to issues through laughter quickly resulted in a TV show called Flop Show.
जहाँ से विशिष्ट हुआ करता था जी, वो का मतलब उनको कंपनी वालों ने निकाल दिया। अच्छा, तो उनकी जगह पर वो मिस्टर गंगाराम। अच्छा अच्छा, गंगाराम के अंदर है? हाँ, अंदर ही अंदर। सर, ये दो केसेस हैं, एक तो लेबर की डिमांड्स के बारे में और दूसरा सर स्टोर से कुछ मटेरियल चोरी हुआ उसके बारे में।
मीटिंग बुला लो, सब कमेटी बिठा लो, मीटिंग बुला लो, सब कमेटी बिठा लो।
ये क्या आपने तो एमडी की जगह पैसा रखा हुआ है? भाई अगर हम 10,000 तनख्वाह पर एमडी रखें, पैसा उसने भी यही करना। मीटिंग बुला लो, सब कमेटी बिठा लो।
The funny Sardar with a poker face became Punjab's best known comedian and satirist. आइए हामिर जी, आइए। वेलकम टू लस्सी विद भट्टी।
भट्टी साहब, ये रहा कार्ड, आप मेरी शादी पर जरूर आइएगा।
अभी तक आपकी शादी नहीं हुई? इस उम्र में तो लोगों की 2-2, 3-3 शादियां हो जाती हैं। Always up to tricks. यार, आप लोग फिर आ गए।
मैं याद करवाने आया था, 31 दिसंबर चैनल गैंग 1।
Ready with a spoof for almost anything. Taking rooms with a price tag to a girl's college. आइए प्रोफेसर साहब, क्या हाल चाल है? कैसे चल रहा है आपका नया स्कूटर? है
फर्स्ट क्लास, बिल्कुल सेट है, 50 की एवरेज दे रहा है।
अच्छा, इसका मतलब अभी गाड़ी को हमारे हाथ लगे नहीं
क्या?
Or applying for a poll symbol for a new party where only the corrupt would find entry.
अच्छी है, मगर इससे पहले मैंने इंग्लैंड में लस्सी पी थी, वो इससे भी बढ़िया थी।
ओ जी, पिछले दिनों आपने ब्रिटिश रूल की प्रशंसा कर दी थी, उसमें भी आप हंस गए थे।
ओ, मैं तो मजाक कर रहा था। वैसे लस्सी अच्छी है, इंग्लैंड के लोग तो हमारी नकल करते हैं।
His jokes, the satire and his common man approach to big issues will forever be missed. अगर आपने खुश रहना है तो नाचते रहिए, नाचते रहिए।
इश्क तो गले से लगा दे।
The 12th Prime Minister of India, I.K. Gujral, succeeded H.D. Devegowda in a climate of uncertainty. While that would scare many, for Gujral it was something he had great experience with. Braving heavy odds with his never-say-die attitude, Gujral first became Vice President of the New Delhi Municipal Committee in 1958. He formally joined Congress, and 6 years later, Indira Gandhi, to whom he said he owed everything, she gave him a ticket with which he entered Rajya Sabha in 1964. This was the beginning of a long inning, both in the national politics and diplomacy. He was a part of the coterie that helped Indira Gandhi become Prime Minister in 1966. He was then the INB Minister when emergency was imposed in 1975. Gujral had a long innings in the Indian politics scenario and will always be remembered for his resilience and sheer determination to pull through.
है या फिर मैं दीवाना, दुनिया पागल है या फिर मैं दीवाना।
Few stars could bring such manic energy and uninhibited enthusiasm to the silver screen as Joy Mukherjee.
पागल है या फिर मैं दीवाना।
All his popular films were packed with foot-tapping numbers with which Joy danced to carefree abandon.
आजा रे आ जरा, लहरा के आ जरा, आंखों से दिल में समा, आजा रे आ जरा, लहरा के आ जरा, आंखों से दिल में समा, आजा रे आ जरा।
Tall, strapping and a looker, Joy Mukherjee was often dressed in bold colors with his long hair gelled and carefully brushed back. He looked a stylish city boy. In his 2-decade-long career, Joy gave us many successful hits, including Shagir, Love in Tokyo, Ziddi and Fir Wahi Dil Laya Hoon. Joy will always be remembered for his joie de vivre on the Indian cine screen.
बंदा परवर काम लो जिगर, बन के प्यार फिर आया हूँ खिदमत में आपकी हुजूर, फिर वही दिल लाया हूँ। माँ, बड़ा होकर मैं भी जोकर बनूंगा, लेकिन तुम लोगों को हंसाऊंगा। जोकर बनूंगा? एक तो पहले लोगों को हंसाने के लिए उम्र भर के लिए तैयार तुम यहाँ से छोड़ गए, और फिर जोकर बनेगा, तब जोकर बनेगा।
Bollywood's quintessential mother.
तुम्हें इतने अच्छे स्कूल में पढ़ा रही हूँ, इसलिए नहीं कि तुम बात की तरह जोकर बने।
With over 250 films in her kitty, Achla Sachdev's career spanned virtually every transition that Bollywood had seen. Yet, the role she is perhaps best remembered for is that of a dutiful wife in this film.
ऐ मेरी ज़ोहरा जबी तुझे मालूम नहीं, तू अभी तक है हंसी और मैं जवान, तुझ पे कुर्बान मेरी जान मेरी जान। ऐ मेरी ज़ोहरा जबी तुझे मालूम नहीं, तू अभी तक है हंसी और मैं जवान, तुझ पे कुर्बान मेरी जान मेरी जान।
Even though she may be known for her movies, Achla Sachdev is also remembered for her extensive philanthropy and the charities that she supported.
इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई?
The honest-to-God man Imam Chacha of Sholay, the good grandfather, father and a true nationalist. There are many roles that A.K. Hangal played over the years.
मानी चाहिए तुम्हें ठकरान, कानून की तरार से कानून का ही खून किया तुमने, ऐसों के घर को बर्बाद कर दिया तुमने। बताओ कहाँ जाएंगे ये बच्चे? बहुत भूख लगी है ना? इंदु बेटा, इनका ख्याल रखना।
जरा अंदर आइए, मुझे कुछ बात करनी है आपसे।
हाँ आया, इनका ख्याल रख।
अजी आइए ना।
आया ना।
But not many know the secret behind his always being so well dressed. Uncle Saab, as he was known, was a tailor too and would stitch his own clothes often. Born in 1917, A.K. Uncle was also a freedom fighter and came into acting only in 1967. 2012 was also a year when we bid goodbye to a prolific writer and winner of several awards, Sunil Gangopadhyay. Author of over 200 books, he excelled in different genres but declared poetry to be his first love. His Neera series of poems are very popular. Sunil excelled in short story, novels, travelogues and children fiction. He had won the Sahitya Academy Award, Ananda Puraskar and the Hindu Literary Prize, and had also served as the president of the Sahitya Academy. With over 170 million combined albums, singles and videos sold worldwide during her career, Whitney Houston established a benchmark for superstardom that will quite simply never be eclipsed in modern era. A singer, she influenced countless other vocalists.
First song you ever sang in church?
Yes, I remember. The first song I sang in church was a song called Guide Me, oh, Thou Great Jehovah. Feed me till I want no more.
From the start of her career more than 2 decades ago, Miss Houston had the talent, looks and the pedigree of a pop superstar. Her range spanned 3 octaves and her voice was plush, vibrant and often spectacular.
Hot 100 Singles Artist of 1993 also wins the award for the #1 Hot 100 Single of the Year, the multi-million selling hit I Will Always Love You. Whitney Houston!
Whitney will always be remembered for her golden voice, which many said was perhaps the voice of God. master of monochrome. Photographer Prabuddha Das Gupta always worked to raise the accepted limit, both moral and creative, of Indian aesthetics. His collection of nude portraits, an early sampling of which was published in the 90s in a book titled Women, cemented his position as an artist who didn't think just outside the box, but one who refused to ever be put in one. Although he trained as a historian but didn't become one. Instead, he became a copywriter before turning to photography. His signature was his black and white photographs and his pictures of the female form, which he always managed to capture with a unique perspective. He never had any formal training in photography, but rather than a handicap, that was perhaps his greatest strength. Arguably India's greatest fashion photographer till date, Prabuddha Das Gupta never believed in conformity. Although she will be remembered for songs such as these, Donna Summer notched up many achievements in a career lasting more than 40 years. She recorded 3 multi-platinum albums and 3 consecutive double albums topping the US charts. She reached a commercial peak in the late 1970s with a string of chart-topping singles, and was able to bounce back from a subsequent slump with hit records in succeeding decades. She also branched out into television with appearances on America's Got Talent and the reality show Platinum Hit. The Queen of Disco, as she is popularly known, Donna Summer's musical genius will remain in the hearts of her countless fans forever. Each stage of the life of this extraordinary Indian represented a new stage of a political evolution. As a young medical student drawn to the freedom struggle, as the leader of the all-woman Rani of Jhansi regiment of the Indian National Army, as a doctor, immediately after independence, and finally, in post-independence India, her life as a member of the Communist Party of India and the All India Democratic Women's Association saw Captain Lakshmi Sehgal in campaigns of political, economic and social justice. A freedom fighter, dedicated medical practitioner, and an outstanding leader of the women's movement in India, Captain Lakshmi leaves country and its people a fine and enduring legacy.